Monday, May the 9th, 2022, I posted Anachronism 3593. It's called Prelude to Some Thank You Notes. The world can be such a nightmare, and this life of mine has surely been quite the uphill battle back to some semblance over the past half dozen years. 5 years ago today, I was kicked to the streets, where I mostly remained for almost 2 years. And I started a new job recently, one I'd love to keep, but one in which I was hired as a fill-in, a temp, a contract job. I'd been employee at nothing but gigs that quickly turned out to be, if not immediately begun, as full-time positions all my working life until about 12 years ago, when I parted ways with a job and the man for whom I'd worked for 10 solid years. As we transitioned through 3 jobs, each more elevated than the previous. After that, I had the luxury of taking a couple of years off, began to look again during what turned out to be a recession, wherein most all employment in my profession was contractual, short-term, and I have been niched into that square peg of work ever since, it seems. Anyway, there are a lot of things that can quite easily get me down, whether simply psychologically or due to literal downtrodden, penny-pinching circumstances. What is there to do that might get me, and finally, back over the hump and up into a life space within which I feel more comfortable? It seems more natural and less derogatory, if not plain torturous. Well, something that works for me is to focus on ways in which I can be thankful. It turns out, through even the worst of times I've found myself in, there are always plenty of things for which I have a full heart of gratitude. Thus begins what shall be a set of meanderings over things for which I am thankful. Like you, of course. Here's to giving thanks for a few days with gusto. Kindly stay tuned. Or simply come back at your leisure. I don't seem to be going away. Thankfully, for me, although it is surely a generically debatable notion, at least in here, I do go on and on and on.